I think it was good just to build with the young core that we have a little bit, and to be able to be more versatile, play off the dribble, off ball screens, making more decisions, play making, get my teammates open. So I think it was just good to be able to practice that a little bit and be able to see that in a game situation, and hopefully build on that during the year.
Alright Pistons fans, so in today's video, we are going to be discussing the historic season that Saddiq Bey is currently having. Now, before we get into all of that, please make sure you guys like this video. Today's like goal is 115 likes. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I drop consistent Pistons content, and I'll play the intro.
Subscribe to Joe Polo 10.
Joe Dumars is the MVP.
So let's get into this. Saddiq Bey has been amazing for the Pistons this year, and when you look at all of the facts and all of the things that's happened this year for Saddiq Bey, it's kind of shocking how great this season has been for him. And the first thing that I want to get to is Saddiq Bey's Iron Man ability, and what I mean by that is he is probably the most durable person that we have on our roster. Before we even go to this season, let's look at the entire career of Saddiq Bey. Saddiq Bey has played in 131 out of 148 possible games. And then when you head to this season, Saddiq Bey has started every single game for the Pistons this year. You have Jeremy Grant, you have Killian Hayes, Cade Cunningham, Frank Jackson, Hamidou Diallo. You have all of those guys who've been in and out of the lineup. They have random injuries here and there, but when it comes to Saddiq Bey, he has not had that at all this season. He has been here for every single game this year. So that's the first thing that I want to praise when it comes to Saddiq Bey, is just his durability and the fact that he has started every single game for the Pistons this year. And you don't typically see that in today's NBA. You have guys who like to load manage, just miss games randomly. Heck, even Grant, he has had a few games this year where he decided to sit out, and then they will come out with a phantom injury and be like, oh, Grant has a ear infection or a nose fracture or something like that. They'll come out of nowhere and come up with a random injury just to say that a guy like Grant is sitting out. But when it comes to Bey, he's not doing the load managing. He's not coming up with the phantom injury to have an excuse to, sit out games. Bey is there through and through. The next thing that we could talk about is the 50-point game. On March 17th of 2022, Saddiq Bey dropped 51 points against the Orlando Magic. He was 17 for 27 from the field that night. And in that game, Bey was just as confident as I've ever seen him before, especially when it comes to shooting beyond the arc. Now, people try to discredit that game all the time. They say things like, oh, it was the Orlando Magic. They only have 20 wins. You're supposed to get 50 points against that type of team. And then they also bring up the fact that, 2 days earlier, Kyrie Irving had a 60-point game against the Orlando Magic. So people, they try to bring up all these factors and try to discredit Saddiq Bey's performance, but I'm not going to do that here. The Pistons only have 22 wins, but a team like the Orlando Magic, none of their players have dropped 51 points against us, or even when we play other teams, you'll have your occasional nights where someone like DeMar DeRozan, he'll go off for 40, 50 points or something like that. But for the majority of the season, and when we play most teams, guys don't typically go off and have high scoring numbers against us, unless they're a superstar, high level player. But even then, it rarely happens. And also, just in general, it is hard to score 50 points in the NBA, regardless of what team you're playing. It could be the Orlando Magic, it can be the Golden State Warriors. It doesn't matter. Heck, put the image on the screen right now. From this past month, these are all of the guys to have 50-point high scoring numbers. LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, Karl-Anthony Towns, Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, DeMar DeRozan. Look at the company that Bey is in right now. If it was so easy for everyone to score 50 points, a lot of guys would do it, but it's not the case. The only guys who are able to do this on a consistent level is the Jason Tatums, the DeMar DeRozans, the LeBron James. Those are the only type of guys who consistently do these type of things. Now, the next point that I'm going to get to is the three-point shooting record that he broke this year. Saddiq Bey broke the single season record for the most three-pointers made in a season throughout the entire history of the Detroit Pistons. Another fact that I'm going to hit y'all with: Saddiq Bey is currently 37th in clutch points in the NBA. And then here's another fact to go along with that. When Saddiq Bey has high clutch point statistics, the Pistons have 15 wins and 17 losses when Bey is being clutch. So that's basically everything that I have for this video. Those are all of the stats, the facts, everything that I can compile from Saddiq Bey this season. Pistons fans, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Thank y'all for 5K, and I'm out.